Welcome to the Salute to Ag Dinner. We're honored this year to celebrate the FLACK family as our 2019 Farm Family of the Year. This is a great opportunity for Wabash County and for the community to celebrate agriculture and everything that it brings to our community. We're thrilled to honor the FLACK family this year. To be able to honor a family that's been doing something different in agriculture in Wabash County for the last 25 years is a heck of an opportunity. Whenever we get a chance to shine that spotlight on something that's so important to our community, we'd love to take advantage of it.
I'm Howard Halderman, and I chair the Agriculture Committee for Wabash County. For 2019, we are just very thankful to be able to honor Steve and Lisa FLACK and their entire family and staff as our Farm Family of the Year. Steve and Lisa have quite an amazing operation most people wouldn't know anything about. Growing alfalfa, but in addition to growing their own alfalfa, they bring in alfalfa from around the country, literally around the United States, and then repackage it and ship it across the United States to people that want to feed it to horses or feed it to other livestock. And it's just an impressive operation that is based right here in north central Wabash County. And it's just another example of a farm family who not only produce their crops well, but then are very innovative and creative in how they sell those crops. And again, going across the United States with these sales. So we're just honored to recognize them as our Farm Family of the Year and look forward to everything they can bring to Wabash County in the future.
I would like to speak a little bit about the FLACKs as being a member of the Salute to Ag Committee, where we select the Farm Family of the Year. We as a group get together and try to pick those farming operations that would be best to be the type of farm family that we would like to have. I've been able to be through all 10 of the selections, and this year's selection I think is got to be one of our best ones that we've had. I think they rose to the top very quickly. They do something that's quite unique. I think if you look back to their history, as others have stated, they started with a small 20 acres just as a part-time operation, and they wanted to expand that, and as you can see, they've turned it into an operation that produces hay, quality hay that's transported throughout the United States. In 2016, just at the time Steve and Lisa were getting the Stefan big bale converter started, we hosted the state forage tour here, and we were able to be here right at the beginning of the operation of the Stefan machine and how it worked and how much of an innovator that the FLACKs were in getting this started. So we also, from retiring from Extension, Steve and Lisa have been big parts of Purdue Extension, either as being part of the Fair Board, which Steve was, and Lisa has gone through 8 years of being a member of our Extension Board and all the community work that they've done. So it's an honor to have Steve and Lisa and Austin as our Farm Family of the Year.
When they moved here, I don't know for sure what year it was, he was a DeKalb DSM and she was a Monsanto chemical rep, and got to know him through agriculture. And that's when he basically started his hay business on the side as a part-time. He's always interested in it, and that's how when they first moved here, I got to be acquainted with them.
Been friends with them for 25 years or so, maybe more, I guess. Not back to Purdue quite, but when we first moved back to Indiana, why they were our friends here. Well, a couple things. They're not from around here, and Steve came from Princeton, and right away with the hay business, or with the hay that he started as basically just to feed the sheep. It's a good neighbor. There's nothing better than an alfalfa field as far as using inputs. He pours a fertilizer to it. He's always been a fertilizer-friendly guy from back in his retail days, and so there's nothing better as far as a neighbor than an alfalfa field. Well, they went out and found kind of a unique thing that's a little different, and have made a living at it. Hay's not easy, and really ag's not easy. And when we've had great commodity prices, hay doesn't necessarily follow it, and it's tougher to make a living when the weather's been like it has the last 4 or 5 years. And so Steve and Lisa have done a good job of picking their days and then working 24 hours a day to get it done when they had to. But figuring out the unique market and being a leader there and making it work is a cool thing about what the FLACKs do and about the hay business and the small bales.
I feel that they're really good stewards and that they take a homogeneous product like hay and they add value to it. And whenever you add value to a farm commodity, there's a lot of jobs and a lot of economic development involved in that. Also, their hay farming operation is a cover crop, being in the bare grass creek system with the erosion control that they have here, that they're studying that prevents any erosion or runoff of soils. So I think those reasons make them a very good candidate.
Steve and Lisa are both very active on many boards. Steve and I were on the fair board together for several years. Steve's on the school board. Lisa's been on the township board. They've just, ever since they've been here, they've done things to give back to the community. So, I think they fill a niche that's a lot of people do, but they've just taken it to the next level. They have mass-produced hay to feed a lot of livestock in the area, and we make a little bit of hay, but just to feed our livestock, and theirs being shipped all over America. So they found a market there, and they've expanded, and it's taken a lot of years and a lot of hard work, and but they've become very successful at it. So.
It's been a real pleasure serving with him and just getting to know the FLACK family, how they're committed to so many different things. And they're committed to relationships. They're committed to education for the community. They've been really involved in people's lives. Many times I've sat around this table dining with them. We've celebrated birthdays, anniversaries, weddings, births. So it's been a pleasure getting to know them through all these years so far.
Well, I thought when I saw Mr. Halderman showed up, I had no idea what they would be doing here. And then when they started explaining it, I thought it was a great honor, and that we would be recognized like that, and I just thought it was a good honor.
I was stunned, very shocked. That wasn't even in the top 50 things we thought they would want to talk about. So it was really neat. We really appreciate it.
No, I was the same way. I was very, very humbled by it. Again, Kurt would make a great CI agent, because I remember he called and said, I need to come out and see you Monday. And I was thinking it was probably something along the lines of a heyday or some type of a program he was wanting to do. And I remember asking you, I said, well, can you give me an idea, Kurt, so I can prepare for it? No, I can't tell you. I'm like, well, okay, then I guess we'll see you Monday morning. So when they come and told us, like Austin said, we were just like very, very thankful and very honored and very humbled by it, and feel very touched that people, I guess, chose us or look at what we do, I guess. But how we got started is, several years ago, many years ago, when we first moved here, we had a small flock of sheep, and I worked in the ag industry as well as Lisa, and we were trying to find a way to, feed the sheep. So we had 20 acres here, and we thought, well, let's put some hay out. So we put some hay out and bought a little equipment and made our own hay for the sheep. And after a few years, people started asking, would you be interested in selling the hay? And we thought, well, yeah, we'll sell some hay, And so we sold some hay off, and one spring I rented an additional 20 acres from a gentleman up in Silver Lake, and kind of got started more into making more hay. And probably a couple of years after that, we got a big square baler. We thought we'd lease one and try it out, and it was probably one of the first ones around that people were using commercially. And so we got with the big square baler, and one of the ways we was able to justify it was we started doing some custom work with it. And so we started doing more custom work with it, and all the meanwhile we were picking up some acres and add more hay acres and doing that. And our primary focus when we got a little bit bigger was more into the dairy market, supplying some bigger dairies. And so after that, we just kept picking up more hay acres, and we added a second machine, and just kind of went from there. Well, that was a pipe dream a long time ago. Back in 2000, I'd seen this machine. Actually talked with the gentleman. I remember his name. Don Oss was his name. He was the guy who designed it, and they were trying to build the first one and get it marketed. But at that time, I just didn't have the market and the size of acres to run through it, and was really just kind of feeling our way through that market and trying to get some ground in it, so to speak. A friend of mine that we had worked with hay over the years had called me and said, hey, there's this Stefan machine that's coming up for auction. You might want to look at it. And so I called Lisa and I said, I just need your undivided attention for 10 minutes. I said, there's this Stefan machine that's for sale up in South Dakota. I think it's probably the next thing we need to do. And she said, sure.
Wasn't quite that simple.